Okay. Boom, guys, we're live. My name is Fabian and welcome to another traffic training. Today's lesson is by far one of the most important ones and one of the most that people want or like, because this is how you're actually going to start scaling your business. I'm going to be talking about how you should scale and the different phases before going to scaling, because there's a common problem that we have in this industry, that the word scaling is just thrown off in whatever sentence or whatever conversation that you're having with anyone, and that basically is not the real truth. So let me just walk you through all the steps and let me show you what's the most simple, the simplest way to get you started once you have everything that I'm going to be covering, so you can scale. Like, let me just set up like public service announcement right now. You can't scale the crap out of crap. What I mean by that is, if you have a shitty product or a shitty service or whatever you're selling and it's a bad experience, it just won't work. It just won't. Believe me, you can't scale the crap out of crap. So with that in mind and with that context, let me just break everything down that we've been talking about the past trainings and how you complement everything together for this lesson, okay? So let me just go straight to the whiteboard so we can talk about Facebook ad scaling. So we're going to be talking about 3 phases, right? The first phase that we talked about in past trainings, it's the testing phase, which is basically phase number 1. As you can see, you can't go all the way down, or you can't start scaling if you don't have data, if you don't know which are your audiences. So that's why I broke it down for you in 3 simple steps, 1, 2, 3, and you have to go through all of them in order to scale. So number 1 will be the testing phase, okay? Of course, in the testing phase, we're going to have a lower budget because we still don't know if the ad is going to work, if the audiences are good, if the right age range is there. So what we're going to be basically doing is just having a low budget. Like I said in the lesson, you can start at $5, $10 is what I really like. Or if you have even more revenue or more budget, you can start at $25 a day. So this is the simple breakdown on what's actually going to happen with the budget. But one second, let me just move this right here. What do we want in the testing phase? We want to test the audiences, like I talked about, the 10x formula. So once we have tested the audiences, we're going to be finding which are our winning audiences, right? So if we have winning audiences, we can for sure know which are the audiences that we can start playing around with, right? And what also do we want? It's finding the best headline and ad combination, okay? That is really important. So again, you're gonna start finding the audience. You have to test them first, right? You're gonna find which are the winning ones, and then once you have the winning ones, you're gonna be finding the best audience and ad combination. So now you can start going to the phase number 2, which is basically the optimization phase. In the optimization phase, still we're not running like a lot of traffic because we really want to know which are those pockets or those segments within the audience that I'm targeting that are driving me the most amount of money. And not only that, they're giving me the lowest CPAs or cost per acquisition. All this flow, it's tied to 3 words: customer per acquisition. Okay, remember this word. Our CPA in the past examples for the dress was $20. So if we go higher than $20, that's no good. If we go lower than this, picture perfect. That's what we want, okay? So this is the most important metric, and then everything goes, okay? So now that we have gone through the testing phase, we have lower CPAs than my target, I can keep testing and optimizing now, going to the optimization phase. We're going to be having a round of budgets from around 25 to 50 because we need consistent sales. We need to have having sales every single day. We need to be within our CPA target and just having this consistency in every single campaign that we're running. Why? Because of course, again, we want to find the lowest CPA. Once we have our lowest CPA, we want to focus on that, right? Because we don't want to be overspending, and at the end of the day, why are we in business? We want to make money, right? So once you have the lowest CPAs, you're going to find out which are your top countries if you're targeting different countries, and you're going to know which are the ones that are the cheapest and which ones are the ones that are giving you the most amount of let's say leads or sales or complete registrations, etc. Once you have the top countries, you need to find which are the best age ranges that we talked about yesterday, and which is, let's say, for example, the strongest gender that is driving you the most amount of traffic. Of course, in fashion, ladies got it. So we really are going to focus in this specific example in the best age range that we have, and in this specific case will be female. Yeah, you can keep testing male. If you're making profit, by all means. If you're making money in the testing phase and you're making money in the optimization phase, don't pause your campaigns. The only metric that you really need to keep an eye on, it's your CPA. So in the testing phase, you're gonna basically pause all the campaigns that didn't drove any traffic, the campaigns that didn't generate any, not generate any traffic, didn't generate any sales or any results or had higher CPA than the ones that we're targeting. So once we have that, we also can find the best placement and device. By placement, I mean if it's on Instagram, if it's on Facebook, and our device is basically going to be if it's a mobile device, if it's an iPhone, if it's an Android, if it's a tablet, if all the sales were drove through desktop newsfeed or through Instagram, etc., etc. So we want to know that data, because if we don't have that data, you're just shooting in the dark, or you're driving a car without brakes. Like, you don't know. You really need to know your numbers. So at this point, you shouldn't be doing anything else. If you haven't reached, if you're still in phase 1, you can't jump to phase 3. Well, you can, but you're going to be making a huge mistake, and you're going to be burning money. You're going to be burning even your time, because you're going to be doing things the wrong way, right? So for me, the most important, guys, for this specific training that I'm going to give you guys, I want you guys to follow the steps and follow the rules that we're giving you guys, okay? So in this specific case, okay, testing phase, then go to optimization phase, and I'm putting some average budgets that you're going to be having, right? So this is step 1, step 2. Now we can talk about scaling, but before going into specific scaling, we really need to know really some important things. Scaling is not a joke. You should be treating your business like a real business. And the best way to make sure you don't screw up is by being ready and being prepared and being organized. The first time that I scaled, it was a really good experience, but at the same time, it was a lot of work, and I was not prepared. And by not being prepared, it's not about just setting up the campaign and let it run. No, of course. Now you make the money. Now the difficult part comes. You have to fulfill your service or your product, etc. So when you're starting to scale ads, you really need to understand that it's not only about Facebook ads. Now you have a cycle of the business from when someone places an order to when you ship the product, you fulfill the order, and then the customer receives it. So you have a lot of responsibility in your hands. And imagine if you're doing 1,000 purchases a day. It's a lot of responsibility, guys. So really, before going into scaling, let's go. You need to set up the best data, and that's why it's in red and highlighted, because you only want to scale what's good. Again, you can't scale the crap out of crap, okay? So let me just make a pause. If you're finding all this information valuable, please go to sebastiangomezmentoring.com. We really recommend you guys, like if you already went to the testing phase, in the optimization phase, and you're gonna start scaling, you need mentorship, you need guidance, you need someone to explain to you what's gonna happen, and of course, giving you the best advice to help you be in the most amount of profit for the most amount of time. So if you're finding all this information valuable and you have any questions on scaling is not a joke. You need a mentor, you need a guide, you need someone to help you do what you really have to do in the right way. So if you're interested, just go to sebastiangomezmentoring.com, just schedule a call. We really just want to help you guys. It's just a simple conversation. You're going to be having it with me. So just let me know, how can I serve you to make your business even more profitable? Okay, so let's go to scaling phase. Scaling phase, you can generally start scaling with $100 a day above. And I put above because this is like where it can really get ridiculous, the amounts of ad spend that you can put behind your ads if you really know what you're doing and if you're profitable. So if you have a full backend, you have solid information, you know, again, you know your numbers. Because if you don't know your numbers, please don't scale. Please don't. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know your profit margins, if you don't know what's the average order value of your business, what's your lifetime customer value from your business, you need to know your numbers. And if you don't know, you're just getting yourself, again, you're just shooting in the dark. So please know your numbers. This is really important. That's why I'm not stressing enough the seriousness of scaling, because I don't want you guys to screw up. This is really important. Okay, so now that you know your numbers, you're going to set up your business backend. What does the business backend mean? You're going to be, what's a backend? Okay, so for example, if you're doing lead generation for let's say for a service, that means that the people that are going to be receiving the leads, they have a solid team of salespeople calling the leads in order to sell them. Number one, because if you start generating leads, for example, if you're generating for a local client over 100 leads a day, they won't know what to do, right? So that's why you always need to have everything connected in place, and this is a cycle, right? You can't push a bunch of traffic, which is what you're doing, scaling to the right offer, and not be prepared. This is kind of when you invite someone for dinner and you burn dinner. Like, that's the worst case scenario. Can't happen. Okay? So now that you have all the business backend in place, of course, you're going to be raising your budgets accordingly. And I am not giving you any specific formula, because everything depends on the CPA. If I'm scaling, for example, if I have a campaign at $100 with my best interest, with my best ad, with the lowest CPA, with all the country's age range combination and placements, because that's basically what you have to do. All the data from the testing and the optimization is going to be set up in one campaign individually. If, for example, if you have 3 winning interests, based on the example that we talked about yesterday, you're going to be creating 3 independent campaigns for each interest based on all the information that we collected. Why? Because this is the best way to generate the most amount of profit, and you have to do it the right way. So the reason that I'm telling you guys, it's, for example, if you have one scaling campaign at $100 and it's generating you, for example, this is generating you $5 CPAs, I'm going to increase this to 200. Once you increase it to 200, you have to let it run for at least 3 days. Minimum 2. I will always recommend 3 days, because you're going to gather more data and you're going to be making better decisions. Once you have analyzed after 3 days, and let's say instead of being 5, the cost drop. You don't know. Drop to 4, boom, instead of 200, you can do 250 or 300. Again, if you're making money in the testing phase, if you're making money in the optimization phase, and you're making money on the scaling phase, please don't cut down the ads, because the most important metric, again, it's your CPA. Okay? If your CPA is lower than 20, it's going to be really hard. If your CPA is lower than 20, it's freaking awesome. You just keep pushing traffic, keep looking for other ad combinations, other headlight combinations, because you already have what you were looking for. So now it's go time. So guys, this is a simple way, this is the simplest way that I can find to explain to you guys scaling. Of course, there are a lot of different things behind this. There are a lot of different strategies. There are a lot of different implementations and variations according to your business. So that's why, if you really need help, I would strongly recommend you guys go to Sebastian Gomez Mentoring, schedule a call with me. As for Fabian, I'm going to be helping you. The most important part, the most important thing about this is that you need the guidance. You need the proper guidance and execution in order to succeed. Because if you do all this stuff and you, for example, you don't know your numbers and your business is not prepared, you're going to be losing money. Even though if you're making money, but for example, your backend is not prepared, and for example, you had 1,000 purchases in one day. Who is going to fulfill those 1,000 orders? You did it yourself? Okay, so now you have to make sure that your vendors shipped them in time, that the vendors shipped the tracking numbers, what if the fulfillment was not on time, what if the products got delayed, now you need to send the tracking numbers, oh, what if the customer didn't receive the package, or he didn't receive what he was promised, or what if they got pissed, they're gonna charge back. And chargebacks are even more expensive than anything else, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be paying a fee for every single chargeback, and you're gonna be losing ad spend money, and also you can lose the amount of money that the client paid you. So you're gonna be losing 3 times. So that's why you need to have everything in place. And again, like if you need help, if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking for mentorship, that's why we're here, and that's why we're recording this 30-day traffic training for you guys completely for free. You can make a lot of money with just implementing this stuff, but if you need help, if you need guidance, we're the ones that can help you change everything with just one call. We're one call away, and it's completely up to you if you make those decisions to change your life, your business, and the people who love you guys. So thank you so much. This has been wonderful 30 days. I really didn't even thought that it was going to be so enriching and so many people will like all this video series, because I've gotten a lot of messages, positive messages, people that are implementing this right away, people that are loving the content. And believe me, I'm going to keep recording content to help you guys. So please, thank you so much. I really want to appreciate every single one of you guys who's been watching all this video series, even this training. Thank you for your time. My name is Fabian Cordova, and see you in another training. Pura vida, guys. Hope you liked it.